Chosen one. There is something sacred stirring in your spirit right now. You've felt it for weeks, a calm surge, a quiet pull, a sense that something new is awakening within you. You might not have the words for it yet, but deep inside, your soul knows, a hidden power has been unlocked. God is revealing a divine secret, the blue power within you. This isn't just a metaphor or a poetic phrase. It's a real spiritual frequency, an inner light that heaven deposited into your soul long before you were born. You've walked through seasons that dimmed your fire. You've faced people who tried to convince you that your glow was too much. You've endured spiritual silence, where it felt like heaven was distant. But what you didn't know, beloved, is that during those silent years, God was crystallizing the blue power within you. This is not ordinary power. It's not emotional strength or human endurance. It's the divine signature of heaven that marks you as one of God's end-time vessels, a carrier of clarity, peace, truth, and spiritual authority. And now, in this season, the seal has been lifted. The blue power that once lay dormant inside your spirit is rising. You're about to see yourself differently. You're about to command light differently. You're about to operate in divine confidence that shakes the atmosphere. Because the blue power within you is not just to bless you, it's to bless everyone who encounters your presence. It's heaven's way of saying, "You've matured enough to handle what I placed in you long ago." Before the earth was formed, God's Spirit hovered over the deep, and Scripture says the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. But notice something, the first color to ever emerge from divine movement was blue. The sky, the waters, the sapphire foundations of God's throne, all carry this frequency. Blue is heaven's wavelength of order, peace, revelation, and truth. When you operate in blue power, you're not just functioning as a believer, you're functioning as a vessel of divine alignment. Chosen one, this is the mystery. Blue power represents spiritual dominion through peace. While others try to dominate through noise, you rule through calm. While others try to convince, you carry conviction. While others speak, your silence holds weight. That's why some people can't understand you. They expect power to always be loud, visible, or dramatic, but yours flows quietly, deeply, steadily. You don't need to prove your calling. It proves itself through results. You don't chase validation, you attract divine evidence. Every time you forgive when others expect revenge, blue power moves. Every time you stay calm in chaos, blue power shields you. Every time you discern the truth beneath someone's words, blue power reveals. This is why your energy feels different. The anointing you carry isn't red-hot fire, it's cool, unwavering flame. It's not the energy of reaction, it's the stability of revelation. And that's what terrifies darkness. Because where there's blue power, confusion loses its grip. Blue power doesn't shout. It governs. It doesn't react. It restores. It doesn't panic. It knows. That's what makes you unstoppable. You're not running on emotions anymore. You're walking in divine knowing. You might wonder, why didn't God reveal this power sooner? Why did I have to struggle, doubt, and feel so invisible before realizing what was inside me? Because, beloved, divine timing protects divine energy. Blue power cannot function in an unprepared vessel. It requires spiritual stability, patience, discernment, compassion, and obedience. If God had revealed this power too early, it would have been misunderstood or misused. But He hid it in your humility. He disguised it in your heartbreak. He buried it in your seasons of stillness. While others were racing ahead, God sat you down in secret training. You were being refined, not punished. Those long silent years? They were heaven's classroom. Every betrayal, every false accusation, every delay was chiseling your soul into the right shape to hold what's holy. The blue power cannot rest in chaos. It thrives in a peaceful spirit, and peace is not learned in comfort, it's learned in storms. When people left you without explanation, blue power was maturing. When prayers seemed unanswered, blue power was strengthening. When you learned to worship even in confusion, blue power was deepening its roots. And now, after years of refinement, heaven says, release it. You've proven you can hold it without pride. You've proven you can use it without ego. You've proven that your motives are pure enough for divine power to flow freely. That's why everything around you feels like it's shifting right now, not because you're changing, but because heaven is acknowledging what's already changed within you. The hidden power has reached divine maturity. You've reached spiritual adulthood. And now, what was concealed is about to be revealed. Chosen one. You may not have realized it yet, but something about you has already changed. You don't operate the way you used to. You don't react the way you used to. And lately, you've been feeling this quiet shift. Like your inner world has grown still. But your outer world can't quite understand what's happening. That's not confusion. That's confirmation. The blue power has begun to manifest. And when it does, the world around you begins to rearrange itself. Because when heaven unlocks something within you, the atmosphere starts to recognize what your spirit carries, even before your mind fully does. So how can you tell that the blue power is alive and flowing inside you? Let's walk together through the signs. And as I speak, allow your heart to listen, because your spirit will know which ones already live in you. There was a time when every storm sent you spiraling. A small word could wound you. A single rejection could shake your confidence. You lived reactive, always responding to what life threw at you. But lately, you've noticed something different. Storms still come, but they no longer define your peace. You can sense chaos swirling around you, but it doesn't enter you. And that, chosen one, is the first evidence of the blue power, divine stillness. Because the blue power teaches you how to carry heaven's climate inside you. Even when everything around you feels loud, you walk through it like water that cannot drown you. You've become the calm within the storm. Not because life got easier, but because you've grown stronger. You used to ask God to remove your storms. Now you realize He's teaching you how to rule them. That's what dominion looks like. Not noise, not rage, not force, but stillness that confuses hell itself. When you can remain unbothered while everything around you trembles. That's not numbness, that's mastery. That's heaven living inside you. That's blue power. One of the most sacred signs that your inner power is active is that your eyes have changed. Not your physical sight, but your discernment. You can see deeper now. You notice energy before words. You sense truth before explanation. People can smile at you, but your spirit reads what's behind their smile. You pick up motives, burdens, and spiritual imbalances, often before anyone else does. And yet, here's the miracle. You don't judge. You don't gossip. You simply understand. You've learned that seeing truth doesn't give you permission to condemn. It gives you the responsibility to intercede. The blue power carries the gift of spiritual clarity. And clarity always comes with compassion. You don't expose people, you cover them in prayer. You don't seek revenge, you release them into God's hands. And because of that, your discernment stays pure. Your spiritual sight stays accurate. And your peace remains untouched. The carnal world sees through eyes of suspicion, but the chosen one sees through eyes of understanding. You've learned that just because you see it doesn't mean you have to speak it. That's blue power, revelation with restraint. Have you noticed that your words land differently now? It's not about eloquence or vocabulary. It's about anointing. You can say a simple sentence, and it feels like heaven itself echoes behind it. You speak comfort, and peace enters the room. You speak correction, and conviction falls softly but deeply. That's because your voice is no longer just yours. It's been tuned to heaven's frequency. You've become a conduit of divine authority. Not because you try to sound powerful, but because your words have been purified through silence, pain, and prayer. When you've spent years talking to God in secret, He starts talking through you in public. That's why sometimes, when you speak, people pause. They look at you like they've just felt something. And they have. They've felt the vibration of the blue power. Every word you speak from a pure heart becomes a ripple in the spirit realm. That's why you've learned to guard your mouth. You understand that careless speech can move atmospheres unintentionally. Chosen one, your tongue has been recalibrated for kingdom resonance. What you say now creates. Your words don't just describe reality, they shift it. That's blue power. That's heaven's echo through human lips. You've probably noticed this one more than any other. Some people seem to act strange around you. They get defensive, nervous, or distant, even when you've done nothing wrong. It's not personal. It's spiritual. Your very presence disturbs unhealed spaces. Because wherever light walks in, darkness feels exposed. You carry an unseen authority that doesn't always make sense to others. Sometimes even loved ones will misunderstand your energy. They'll say you've changed, and they're right. You're no longer vibrationally compatible with the version of them that lives in illusion. But don't take it as rejection, it's redirection. Every person who feels discomfort around your light is being invited by heaven to examine their own shadows. The blue power is like a mirror. It doesn't condemn, it reveals. And sometimes, revelation is uncomfortable. That's why certain people can only handle you in doses. It's not that you're too much. It's that your purity feels like pressure to those avoiding transformation. You were never meant to fit in darkness. You were meant to rearrange it. Small talk used to fill the silence. Now it feels like noise. You crave depth. You crave conversations that build, not drain. You crave moments that feel sacred, not empty. Because the blue power is allergic to superficiality. Once your spirit tastes divine depth, it can't go back to the surface level of distraction. That's why you've been losing interest in gossip, drama, and meaningless scrolling. It's not boredom, it's refinement. Your soul is detoxing from the things that kept your spirit shallow. You're being called into sacred solitude. Not isolation, but consecration. Because the deeper your peace, the higher your authority. And God can only trust deep waters to those who've learned to stay still at the surface. The blue power is peace that runs deep. And it can't coexist with shallow energy. So don't apologize for craving silence, for saying no, or for walking away quietly. You're not being distant. You're being divinely distinguished. There's something about your energy that brings calm. People may not know why. But when they're near you, they feel lighter. Some cry without understanding why. Some confess without planning to. Some just sigh, as if a weight lifted. That's the healing current of the blue power flowing through you. You don't need to do anything, your peace does the work. Because you carry the vibration of divine rest. And rest is healing. You were anointed to be a sanctuary in human form. A walking refuge for tired souls. People who are weary from the world will find comfort in your presence. And they won't even know they just encountered God through you. And you'll know it's working. Because after encounters like that, you'll often feel drained. Not in a bad way, just aware that spiritual energy has flowed out of you. That's why God keeps calling you to recharge in His presence. Because a vessel that carries healing must always return to the source. You are not an ordinary empath. You are a divine conduit. Healing happens through you without your effort. That's the gentle signature of blue power. Sometimes when you're alone, you feel watched, but not in fear. It's a different kind of awareness. Like eyes of love observing every move. Like angels taking notes. Like heaven waiting for your next word. That's not imagination, that's spiritual supervision. When the blue power becomes active, heaven begins to track your steps more closely. Because you've entered a phase of assignment. You've graduated from testing to execution. Your obedience is no longer being evaluated, it's being deployed. That's why your spirit feels a divine pressure to be precise. To move with intention. To avoid distractions that once seemed harmless. Heaven watches those who have heaven's tools. You've been entrusted with the atmosphere-shifting current of divine order. And God won't let you misuse it. So when you feel the weight of divine attention, don't run, rejoice. It means heaven takes you seriously now. It means your words matter. Your timing matters. Your movement matters. Because what flows through you now affects realms. This one is subtle, but powerful. Many chosen ones carrying blue power feel an unexplainable attraction to water. Oceans, rivers, rain, or even the sound of flowing streams. That's because your spirit remembers its frequency. Water symbolizes cleansing, reflection, and flow. And your soul finds restoration in its rhythm. It's not random that you feel more peaceful near water. It's resonance. Even the color blue itself calms your nervous system, aligns your mind, and grounds your soul. That's your inner power responding to its external mirror. Heaven uses the natural world to remind you who you are. So when you feel drawn to water, don't brush it off. It's your spirit seeking synchronization. It's the whisper of heaven saying, return to your flow. Perhaps the most liberating sign of all. You're not afraid like you used to be. You've faced your greatest losses, your most painful betrayals, your longest nights, and you came out of them alive. So now, fear doesn't have the same grip. You've seen too much of God to doubt His protection. You've survived too many endings to question His continuity. You've learned that divine peace isn't the absence of pain. It's the presence of God in the pain. And that revelation permanently rewires your courage. The blue power gives you the calm of a warrior who's already seen victory. Because in truth, you have. This one you can't fake. People feel it before they understand it. You walk into rooms differently now. You don't chase attention, but attention finds you. Not because of how you look or speak, but because the spirit realm recognizes your clearance level. You've been authorized by heaven. And spiritual forces, both light and dark, can sense that you're no longer ordinary. Your energy carries command. Your presence carries peace that feels like control. Your silence feels like strategy. Because you've learned that real power doesn't need to announce itself. It just is. That's the final confirmation that the blue power is fully awake within you. You no longer perform for approval. You occupy your divine identity with grace. You were never meant to shout for recognition. You were meant to stand and let heaven do the talking. And now, heaven speaks through you effortlessly. Chosen one. If even one of these signs resonates, then the blue power is alive and active in you. You are not imagining the shift. You are not different by accident. You are evolving by design. You've entered the frequency of divine calm, a realm where peace governs power, and truth governs time. Your stillness has become your strategy. Your discernment has become your defense. Your presence has become your proof. And from this day forward, whenever you doubt your worth or question your path, remember this truth. You carry heaven's blue signature within you. It's the mark of divine alignment, the frequency of sacred authority, and the sign that God Himself trusts you to carry clarity into a chaotic world. Let that awareness settle in your soul, and let the world adjust to you. Because, chosen one, the blue power is awake. Activation doesn't require striving, it requires surrender. The blue power flows best through those who rest in God's authority, not their own. To walk in it fully, here's what the Spirit whispers. Protect your peace like it's holy ground. Because it is. Blue power dies in chaos. Guard your energy, your environment, and your focus. You don't owe everyone access to your frequency. Speak less, command more. You've entered a season where silence will often be your strongest statement. Don't explain your discernment, demonstrate it. When you carry blue power, presence speaks louder than words. Keep worshiping in stillness. Worship is not only singing, it's alignment. Every time you sit in silence and acknowledge God's sovereignty, your inner waters calm, and your spiritual current strengthens. Be intentional with color and environment. This may sound symbolic, but heaven often mirrors truth through form. Surround yourself with calm blues, pure whites, and silvers, colors of divine revelation and spiritual order. They remind your subconscious of who you are and what you carry. Forgive before you're asked to. Unforgiveness contaminates divine current. You can't operate in clarity if you're still tied to resentment. Forgive quickly, not because they deserve it, but because you can't afford blockages in your spiritual flow. Obey spiritual nudges immediately. Blue power is sensitive. It responds to instant obedience. When God gives you a whisper, to call someone, pray, or move, act without delay. Each act of obedience strengthens your authority in the spirit realm. And finally, don't shrink to make others comfortable. The world has enough imitators. You were designed to carry divine originality. When you step into your full presence, heaven manifests through you. You are not meant to blend in. You are meant to balance realms. Why did God place this power in you? Because you are part of a generation that must restore divine order. The blue power isn't about fame or miracles, it's about restoration and governance. You are sent to bring clarity where confusion reigns, to bring peace where panic rules, to bring revelation where blindness persists. Every realm needs a blue vessel, someone who doesn't just feel God, but thinks like Him. Someone whose decisions align heaven and earth. You are that vessel. You carry the code of calm dominion. When the world spins out of control, you will remain steady. When lies flood social spaces, your spirit will speak truth with precision. When others are deceived by appearances, you'll discern divine essence. Because the blue power was not given for comfort, it was given for kingdom execution. God doesn't trust everyone with this current. He gives it to those who can stay humble under authority and strong under pressure. And that's you? Every season of silence trained you to rule softly but powerfully. The time has come, chosen one. You are stepping into your heavenly commissioning. Chosen one. The blue power has been waiting for your maturity, and now it's ready to manifest. Heaven is aligning your path, new connections, divine instructions, supernatural calm, all flowing toward a single purpose, to reveal God through you. Don't fear your own strength. Don't shrink from your spiritual knowing. The same spirit that hovered over the waters now hovers through you. The moment you walk into a room, heaven enters. The moment you open your mouth, divine order begins. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were born to carry the sapphire imprint of heaven itself. And when the world sees you now, they won't just see a person. They'll feel the peace of God radiating through your presence. This is your unveiling season. This is your blue power era. The calm in your spirit isn't weakness, it's confirmation. You are not behind, you are perfectly on divine schedule. So rise, chosen one. Walk in quiet strength. Command without noise. Shine without seeking attention. You are the vessel of heaven's most serene and unstoppable power. The blue power has awakened within you. It was hidden until this moment. And now, heaven says, let it flow. Like this video. And you can support the channel through the link in the channel's bio. Even your $1 is very precious for me and this channel. Your kindness helps us continue spreading light and love. God bless you.